Hi everyone, and welcome to the Curious Geographer. Happy New Year and welcome back to this series. If you haven't already checked out some of our episodes from last time or interviews from last time, here is the QR code for you to check out, and I will let you know our upcoming interviews because we've got some amazing ones coming up from spring and summer. But today I am so excited that we are going to be speaking to Harriet and Tula from Offene Arme, which is in Greece in an island called Chios, who, if I pronounced that right, I wouldn't need to check with Harriet. And we are going to be talking about what they do to support migrants who arrive in on the Greek islands, and they have provided vital aid and support for refugees on the Greek islands since 2015, and they provide a full spectrum, which they're going to tell you about, of essential aid and care from day one, from meeting boats when they land on the port to beaches to distributing aid, living in camps as well, and looking at they have a shop as well for clothes. So we're going to hear all about it. And I'm really excited because Tula was from the very kind of founding of CERST, and we're going to hear about the kind of her journey through how she began to work with migrants. So if I pass over to Harriet and Tula, if you first wouldn't mind just saying hi, just saying who's who, and if you wouldn't mind telling us about the amazing work that Offene Arme does.
Hi, I'm Harriet, and this is Socks, and I'm really sorry. I'm gonna have to. He's a bit camera shy. So I work with Offene Arme as our free shop coordinator. So I work in our free shop, providing supplies to people when they come to the shop, and they can select the items that they want and have a bit of choice to get some, at the moment, really much needed winter items, winter clothes.
Yeah, I'm Tula. I'm from Chios. This journey started back to 2015 when a boat landed in very near to my home. Then very soon I realized that I have to do something, like also many other locals realized that they have to do something. Very soon, together with amazing, incredible volunteers from all over the world, we established Chios Search Response Team, a team that responded for the landings 24/7 for many years until the COVID came. And in 2018, under the authorities asked us to become an NGO. So we were very lucky at that point that days we had Alex here, the president of Offene Arme, a small NGO in Germany that established to help us search in the ground and the other local teams. And I became the legal representative of Offene Arme. And since then we are officially Offene Arme, the NGO that is working here and provide NFIs. And NFIs is non-food items to help wherever we can. This team established only because there was gaps and there were need. That's the only reason we are here, and this is the only reason that we remain in the island, because there are still people fleeing from war, from persecution, from hunger. So they're coming in our island. And like human beings, the only thing we can do is to welcome them and supporting them with the way we can. Of course, the gaps are huge, but we are trying our best together, as I told you, with thousands of volunteers from all over the world. And not only that, with the supporters, organizations as well from all over the world. From England, for example, we have a huge support from English organizations. So yeah, all this together made what we are now, and with the same values all together, we are continue this journey, and as much as need, this team will be.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself and telling us about Offene Arme. I think it's amazing to know that we've had you able to speak to you as well, considering you were there from the very start of the journey as a Greek resident, and I must have seen the island change hugely, and it's incredible how many volunteers you have brought over to work and support refugees. just to say for everybody watching, if you do have any questions, please just write them in the chat and we'll see if we can ask Harriet and Tula questions about them. And we are you mentioned COVID as well, and we are going to be talking about how that changed for migrants as well, and how that's changed their journey. So I thought, if it was possible to start with telling us a little bit about the migrants that you support, kind of primarily, where do migrants come from? On the news, we see lots of images of families migrating over. So, and kind of if you can confirm which countries or where you've kind of had migrants from, that'd be fantastic, just to hear about who you are supporting.
So obviously we support all of the people that arrive on the island as asylum seekers, and when they become recognised refugees, so we're open to support everybody. Most people at the moment that we are serving are from Palestine and Somalia, and some people from the Congo, some people from Afghanistan, some people from Pakistan. I think you might have a slide of all the different languages that we work with, and look at that to see the languages that we work with. And most people are single men, so our highest population are lots of single men. There are families, single women, or brothers and sisters that come over together. We've had quite recently lots of people that are joining family members that they know that are already on this island. But it's most of the population are single men. So we provide lots and lots of items to that population, but we do also provide for families, providing clothes for babies is really, really important, because babies obviously grow so quickly, and making sure they've got hygiene items and things like that more regularly than we would for those.
It's very important to mention that we are also unaccompanied minors are coming to the island, like in all the islands of Greece, that after this journey from Turkey, that they go mostly to the five main islands that are more near to Turkey. So we have many unaccompanied minors, and with cooperation with organizations that are supporting them inside in the safe zone area at the Vial camp. Of course, as well, the children are coming to take clothes and other items, shoes, and But the biggest thing that I believe that this team is doing, and it's very important as well, is the smile that we give to the people, the kindness that they find from the volunteers, and the feeling that they're not alone in this world, in Chios, okay? We will say for here, because we are from here, but it's very important to mention that in these situations, it's so important, a big smile of the face, that people are care. And this is what it should be our message today, that we should care for the other people.
Thank you, and I think that's really important, because in the news, in England, we hear that migrants can be either demonized or can be seen like really negatively, and actually, as human beings, as you were saying, we need to be caring, and we should care for people who are coming and supporting. And I think that's why it's fantastic to hear what you were doing on the Greek islands. I know it's changing for different times, and I know that you said that you had a lot of young men coming through, and people who sometimes know where they're going to meet others. But when migrants arrive on the island, do they have an idea of where their destination is afterwards? And I know it's hard to say, but how long do they stay on the island, or how long may you be with them, kind of supporting them on the island?
Yeah, definitely support them from the first time until the time that they will leave, because we are the only NFIs team in the island at this moment. And before, we were one of, I would say, the biggest organization with so many supplies. The people knows very well where they're coming in a Greek island in Chios, and the last 2 years, refugees are saying, and we have seen in social media as well, many pushbacks that they're happening, and what they're doing now, according with them, and what they're telling us, is they're trying to hide in the woods, to hide in the fields, so they will not be arrested and pushed back. this is something. We have stopped being in the landings that we were for many years since COVID. The authorities have stopped us until then. But of course, we found very soon a way to reach these people, all the people, and this is the goal, to reach the people in need, basically. And yes.
So I'll just talk a little bit about the asylum. So when people arrive on the island, you have to claim asylum, and you need to say, I'm here and I'm claiming asylum. They will then go to the camp area and get taken to a quarantine area, and because of COVID, they will quarantine for between 10 and 14 days. Then they will then have their interviews, and their asylum process starts to be processed. That it has on the island previously taken up to 2 years, but now, because they're trying to transfer people very quickly, that's now happening much, much quicker. If people get their process accepted, their claim for asylum accepted, they will become a recognised refugee and will get a different identification, and different processes happen. If it's not accepted, then they have the opportunity to appeal. And then we will still serve and help them throughout all of this process. It doesn't make a difference to us if we've got asylum seekers or recognised refugees. We just need a form of ID to monitor on our system, so we make sure that it's really, really fair. That's a very simple outline of what happens. You'll have to speak to the lawyers that deal with that, and I can put some links into those people if you want. I'll send them to you, Ellie. But that's very simple of what happens when people arrive and how long they stay. We don't know how long they stay. Some people are being united with families in different countries, so their process can happen much quicker.
Of course, it's worth to mention that from 2015, 182,000 people passed from the island. And almost all of them, they have been, they left and they went to the mainland, and mostly to Germany or to other European countries, basically. And this team is since then here, and it's unbelievable when we are speaking about numbers, how many people this team together we did for these people.
We will be talking about your volunteer team as well in a bit. I know, I had a question on the asylum process, and a kind of bit of what you both said was, I know, Tila, you were saying how people migrants might have been hiding in like bushes to not be recognised by the authorities. Is that so that they can then claim asylum in another country, so that they don't have to claim it in Greece?
No. They hiding, but then finally, after a few days, according to what they say, is that they go to the Al camp or to the quarantine area, and they present themselves, and they're asking asylum. They're taking pictures from Chios, from where they're coming from, where are they at that moment. So with the fear that will be pushed back, this is how they say that they'll deal this situation. Yeah, because of COVID doesn't mean that, of course, the people have stopped and tried to come. Of course, they're every day trying to come because nothing has been solved. And don't forget now that we have in Turkey the crisis. It's a bigger crisis for the refugees. There is nothing for the Turkish people, how they will work, where these refugees will work. So this is being increased, I believe, with this crisis.
You mentioned how the processes were maybe being pushed through, and I wondered if you could let us know, obviously as you talked about COVID, things have changed dramatically, also how probably you worked or supported migrants at the camps as well. How has COVID impacted the refugees coming to Greece? And you said they haven't stopped them, but how has it maybe impacted how they've has there been outbreaks in the camps? Has it been hard to actually support refugees more? What challenges has COVID brought to refugees?
Yeah, in the COVID, as we said, we had many projects, and we were working 24/7 in the landings as well, to the camps, making playing with children, to have activities with children, to have to do many other works there, cleaning around the camp, many other projects. And but then after COVID, as we said, we have stopped the landings, and then very soon the idea of a shop very near to Vial came in our minds, and we decided to make the shop, the free shop, so the people will come to us now that we couldn't reach them. So that was that started in June of 2019. 20, and then we started. All the people coming were coming there. Finally, slowly though, after the beginning of COVID, the government reduced the number of the islands, so they moved many people to the mainland. Okay. And yeah, but the people, of course, they have been affected because they have stopped the people going out of the camps when the COVID started and when we had the lockdowns. Okay, they had zero sanitation, zero hygienic place to stay. So you understand that this is that's a big issue. Very soon, though, the authorities they created a quarantine area. Far away from the camp, and containers outside of Vial camp that they could put the people that they have affected by COVID. Yeah, and they're also doing vaccinations. They're trying as well for this, but some people they want to vaccinate, some people they don't want. Yeah, but generally, yeah, it was difficult for them anyway. So COVID came to make it worse. It
seems like there's been a lot of challenges that has brought, and I know Harriet has told me a bit about her experience during that kind of last year as well. Just to kind of a quick question before we get on to the your volunteers. In the news we see migrants coming on just like dinghies, all kind of cramped in. Is that how migrants are arriving when you see them? And do you know how many gets taken straight back to Turkey? I'm not sure if you know those figures.
No, we're not in a position to know how many boats have been pushed back. This is in social media, and they're coming indeed in plastic rubber boats. They're completely dangerous, with completely no safety, because these boats are for specific weather, specific amount of people. So when you have a plastic rubber boat that is for 10 people and suddenly they put 80 people, this is like a journey of death. And that's why many people have drowned in the sea because of these inappropriate boats. But as well, they are so desperate to leave, to come, to reach Europe, that they're risking their lives to travel with the weather that is very bad. So many people drowned, and children and families and single men and everybody. So many people died because of this, because they are desperate to come to Europe. Yeah, they just want all what we need: just a free country, a job, the children to go to school, and all the things that we all need. But most important is the free country and the opportunities for them to build their lives like we want and like we all have the right to do. I mean, there is not them and us, is we. we are all the same.
That's a really good link to saying not them and us, and this idea of like othering, and that sometimes it can seem that particularly in Europe that maybe we take the education for granted and the opportunities that we have. And you're right, everybody has a right to have this freedom, which migrants are looking for as well, and it's about us collectively together. Thank you for that. If we can hear about your volunteers who help with you, and I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I put it on a tweet, but Harriet and I used to work together in a school, and then a couple of years ago, I don't know the exact times because my brain has been messed up with years recently, but she went and she was very excited, and I thought it was just maybe going to be for a couple of months. And I don't know, Harriet, how long you've been out there at the moment. At least a couple of years. How long?
No, only a year and
maybe
a year and 3 months.
Brilliant.
Now.
So but I feel like you're very much set there for the moment. So I would love to hear about your experience soon. But if we could just talk about where do the volunteers come from, and what do the volunteers do when you're there? So I don't know who's going to take that question away first.
I think I can do that. So our volunteers come from all around the world, all ages, all different people, different places, but all have a similar value, and that's that they want to help and they want to support. So it's a really, really wonderful place to work, because you know that everyone is here, has a really, really good heart, and everyone wants to do good. So yeah, people come from maybe having a break from work, or want to change careers but aren't really sure what to do, or have retired and want to come out and do something. So we get lots of people from lots of different places and different stages in their life, and that come out here with that one common goal, which is really to help and support people. And while they're here, at the moment, our projects are our free shop, which we've talked a little bit about, and our warehouse, and we have a few other projects supporting people on the island. So in the warehouse is where we receive our donations from local people and also from organisations in Europe, and we sort the donations into sizes so that they're ready to go as stock for our shop. So we have to make sure that in our warehouse it's always ready. We've got the right amount of shampoo, we've got the right amount of towels, we've got the right amount of jumpers, and we know we've got the stock for the population that we've got. So it's lots of counting, lots of sorting, checking for really good quality clothing. We don't want to give people things that have got holes in, or things that have got stains, or anything with inappropriate slogans on. So we do that in our warehouse, making sure everything is really of a really, really high quality, and then goes into our shop. We then have our shop, which functions just like a normal shop. It looks very similar to a normal shop. Everything's arranged in sizes. So if a medium man comes into the shop, we can say this is the medium man's area. You've got t-shirts, long sleeves, jumpers, jackets, trousers, and jogging bottoms. They can pick what they want, the items that they want. We have limits, because we need to make sure that everyone gets everyone gets the same, but they get to choose what they're taking. So if the volunteers that are working in the shop are working with the people that we serve, welcoming them again with that really big smile. We want to make people feel welcomed, and that they have that safe space to come to, and to have a bit of choice in their lives. So, and we're making sure that the shop is stocked fully, so that people have that really wide range of different items. And then we check people out just as you would go to a checkout, but obviously it's all free, no one pays for anything. And checking them on our system so that people can't shop twice, they shop once within a distribution.
Yeah, something we have to mention is that we are doing emergency distributions. It's not only the shop. We do emergency distributions in the apartments or in Vial camp. Like the recent emergency distribution happened for diapers. So yeah, we have cooperation with all the organizations. They're asking us supplies. It's not only that we give only to the people. There are also organizations inside in Vial that are asking specific supplies. So yeah, we're trying to do our best. There is not normal day in the life of an Offene Arme volunteer. We can start for this, and suddenly the day will change as well, because the emergency is coming and going. And but I believe, though Harriet said it's a wonderful place, I would say that it's a challenging place as well, because we have to deal with emotions. We are human beings. We see other people that are coming with pain, and of course, it is a big challenge for us, for our volunteers. But this is lessons that everybody should learn, and to deal the truth by face, to realize that there are people that are suffering, and that they need supplies, or and other supplies, or, as I said, many things. And yeah, but always the situation is changing. is a team that we adapt. The volunteers are adapting with us as well. That's very common here in this team. Yeah.
Thank you. It sounds, yeah, as you said, like every day seems very varied as well. And Harriet did give me a tour earlier, just for everybody seeing that behind the boxes behind them, that was where like the shop was. Yeah, you can go if you want to, if that's okay. Then we can do our final questions. So I was going to say what's great about this, as Harriet's kind of getting me the camera, is that as Harriet said, and as Tula said, they also offer kind of supplies straight away. But Harriet's about to take you to the shop. Harriet, do you want to narrate as we go around?
Yeah, so this is our warehouse. So you can see all of the cardboard boxes. This here is our emergency pack. So if there ever is any emergencies, we have them ready. And this is our shop. So I'll take you to the door. Am I at the right angle? So here we have our shop. So this is the women's area. We've got the women's areas a little bit cornered off. So we've got some underwear and extra large, medium, small women. And we also have some really lovely traditional dresses and abayas that we can show you that the women are really, really pleased to see, because often they don't get those traditional dresses, and headscarves and hijabs as well. I'll take you round. Really popular item, our men's joggers. And a children's area. So we've got some really good jackets. Our children are categorised from 2 to 5, 6 to 9, and then 10 to teen. And we've got some toys. All children get 3 toys. And then here is our men's area. So as I've mentioned before, the majority of the population are men, so we've got the most amount of supplies for men here. Some really good quality jackets and underwear, really important, and our sleeping bags. Oh, we're going this way. We want to go to hygiene. So hygiene, deodorant, shower gel, shampoo, towels, available for people.
Let's say something very important. The new arrivals, when they're coming in the island of Chios, they are taking 1 blanket and 1 sleeping bag for all the time. So as you understand, with 0 degrees outside in this cold, you cannot live in a container without heaters, without a warm, would not have. So we give as well, of course, sleeping bags and blankets. These are very popular items, because the camps that we have here, it's exactly like all the other camps. Not good place to live there. Very cold, not mud everywhere. Now it's raining as well, so you understand everything is muddy there in that camp. And yeah, they have to wait in the line 3 times per day to take breakfast, lunch, and dinner inside in real camp. We have to mention that as well. And yeah, general it's the worst place that human being can stay. But
so we'll go back.
Thank you. And no, we have never had a walking tour on the Curious Geographer, and what an amazing one. So thank you so much for telling us kind of everything that you support and give to migrants as well. My question was before, and I know I asked you this before, but not on screen, was where do you get all the resources and clothes, and do people say donate directly to you, or is it kind of from a larger distribution?
Yeah, in the beginning it was individuals, but then slowly, when we established cooperations with English organizations, from Germany, from Holland, they started coming the containers, the pallets, and very soon we had more than 60 organizations we have received clothes from. It's a challenge at this moment to take from England supplies, unfortunately, because of Brexit and because there is a lot of fee in the customs because it's not in the Europe anymore. So this is a big issue for the Greece at this moment with supplies, and I hope that this problem will be solved very soon. But we continue to take from other countries like Holland and Germany, or as well. But there is cooperation, I have to say, as well, with many organizations in the mainland. We cooperate all together and we say, okay, if you have, do you have, for example, towels today? I can send you towels, and they can send us something else. And this is as well, the cooperation is the key for the organizations to act and give more supplies to people. And as well, of course, the cooperation with authorities, I have to say, and the respect of the government rules and everything that the authorities are saying. We are registered our volunteers. This is very important to the authorities, the port police and police. And we are expecting from them always everybody to have a police check, because as we said, we're dealing with vulnerable people. We are in a place that we need to be very careful what we're doing and how we do it.
Harriet, up to you.
Talk about monetary Sorry. So any monetary donations that we get to buy supplies, we will buy from local suppliers that we've got good relationships with, that give us a good price, and obviously we want to support the local economy. So if there are any monetary donations that come through, we do sometimes get, we spend them within the local economy, supporting that. Business.
And I'll pass on the links that you gave me as well. So I'll put that on how can ask now, is that how can people watching, how can they support and or where can they go and find out more information?
So I've sent you lots of links.
They're going to be in the chat now.
That you can on our Facebook page or our Instagram, that shows you a little bit of what we're doing day to day. We have also a website which is in the chat as well, and you can have a look at some of our previous projects, and or you can email us. Our information is on the website as well if you want to come and work for us. We do have a minimum of a month's stay, just because it's quite a challenging time, and there's a lot to get your head around. If you stay for a short time, it's very, very hard for people to sort of get really involved. So we like people to stay for a month. If you can stay for longer, that's really, really great. But it's a minimum of a month if you want to come and help us. If you have any supplies.
And 18 years old and plus, we are taking volunteers. Yeah. And we are taking as well volunteers that are younger than that, but always if they will be accompanied by the parents. Under 18 years old, accompanied with the parents, we had as well many. Something that I want to say for the volunteers, and is something that your audience should know, is that many volunteers came here and they changed their lives. Seriously, they changed their lives, the way that they are seeing the world, the way that they're seeing the people. It's very important to say, not only to our organizations, there are amazing organizations all over the world. They can help anywhere they can, because, in this crisis as well with COVID, financial situations, we understand that. But the start is to start with your neighbor, to help your neighbor, then to go to your community, then from your community to maybe an island in Chios in Greece, together with Tula and Harriet and with another bunch of amazing volunteers, because they're amazing. And though we have many challenges, always we will find a solution for these challenges as well. Yeah. But I think it's very important to care about the humans general. It's not only, of course, the immigrants, can be, as we said, a neighbor or somebody in your community.
Thank you so much. We'll be passing on those. Everybody has them as well, so they know where to contact you. So if anybody does see this who's maybe interested in it, then they'll know to contact you, and we'll be spreading the word as well. I don't know if there's, before we go on to the final question, which is about how you got to where you were, I wondered if there's anything else that you wanted, which we hadn't touched upon, that you wanted to say. We haven't talked about the Amal walk, and I didn't ask you before, but I don't know if you were, if you could say why you think that's important. So this was a migrant doll that went all the way across Europe and ended through England as well. I don't know if you want to say anything on that.
Of course. First of all, we are welcoming Amal, girls like Amal from 2015 in the source of Chios. But when Amal, the doll, came here, we were volunteers helping all the organizing a little bit the crowd, because many people came to see her, for us, it was a very emotional day, I have to say. I mean, it's very emotional to see. Yeah, you want to speak?
Yeah. So Amal was representing all of those unaccompanied minors that have come since 2015, and there were, as volunteers here, we were there to welcome, as an organisation, to welcome those unaccompanied minors that came before, and we, as she was representing all of those, we went again to welcome her as a representation of all of those. And that's why it was quite difficult for us as an organisation to see the different welcome that the puppet got to the people, that the children that were actually arriving. It was quite a hard event to be part of, but we were there and we were welcoming in the same way that we welcomed all of those years, not just that one event, for all of those years, and we'll continue to do if the need is there.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I can see that. What we can see through this from both of you is your passion and your devotion to the migrants who you support when you're there. So thank you for taking the time to us to just give a touch upon what you do. I know there's so much and you've dedicated so much time. So it's really special that we have been able to actually hear what it's like. And if we could, because I don't actually know Tula. Well, I know what Harriet did before, but Harriet will have to tell us. Do you know she's a volunteer out there now? But Harriet, if you wouldn't mind telling us kind of your journey and if you have any advice, if anybody's here. And Tula, I would love to hear. All we knew was before that you were a Greek citizen out there, out in the islands, but. I don't know what was your career beforehand, and do you have any advice if someone is looking to support migrants like you have managed to do so amazingly since 2015? So if we start with Tula, if that's okay, and then we could ask Harriet.
Yours is more interesting than my story.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this career, as you say, that I said that is a career of pain, because as I told you, we are seeing people in pain and we are pain with them. Yeah, it wasn't something that I mean, it's very difficult to say. I didn't plan this. It wasn't a choice. I was a florist and the hotel owner, always thinking about other people in a smaller scale. But of course, when as I told you, this issue came in front of my door, and I realized what is happening, how these people are passing this dangerous trip, and they were in the square of Chios and they needed help. So yeah, it was very easy for me to say, yeah, I need to do something. And I'm blessed that so many thousands of people followed me and our organization in this trip, as I said. But I don't know where this will end up, because always I say we will be here as much as the need is here. When the need is not here, like Offene Arme, like Tula, I will go back to my home and I can help my neighbor or something else, or I will go to another organization to volunteer. But until then we will be here. It wasn't something that I have planned. It just came very naturally. Yeah.
And I used to work with Ellie as a geography teacher. So we used to have classrooms opposite each other. It's really lots of fun. But I used to teach things about migration, international development, and I just thought there's so much that more that I can be doing. And one summer I went to Lesbos, which is another one of the Aegean islands, in my summer break, and spent a bit of time there, and just realized there's a need for people that can stay for long term, to come and support and be here for a long time. We get lots of short-term volunteers, which are really, really important and bring lots of energy. But I just thought, I've got the time, I've got the space in my life at the moment to be able to go out and help for a long period of time. And I actually went to another island before I came to Chios. So I went to Samos, another Aegean island, and worked with a really lovely organisation there. And then I came to Chios, and fell in love with the beautiful island, and started working for Offene Arme, and it sort of all fits into place, and just the work that we're able to do is so meaningful, and it's so important, and it's hard to leave.
Just for students who are students who are at school at the moment, your minimum age for volunteering, as you said before, was 18 and above, unless you are accompanied by an older person. Brilliant. And we have had a message from Sally on the chat saying, hi all Offene Arme volunteers and to-be volunteers, such a valuable and necessary service. Kudos to Tula and Harriet. So I thought that would be a nice thing to kind of end with there. So unless there's anything else, I've put all the links on there as well, and so people can find you. I know your Facebook page is fantastic at keeping up to date on what's going on as well. So I think that's a really good one to follow, for people to see the fantastic work that you're doing. And for me, I just wanted to thank you so much about kind of taking the time, giving us so much honesty about kind of your work out there and the challenges and how it's been impacted by COVID, and I will wish you all the best health whilst you're out there, and all the migrants who you're supporting at the moment, and it's just been a pleasure to speak to you, so thank you so much for taking your time to speak to us, and everybody watching as well.
Yeah, we would like to thank from our part as well all your beautiful people that are over there and watching us and want to learn more about people. This is a very good start, guys, there to start and open your hearts, okay? Open your hearts, your minds, and just go out and help. That's the meaning of life for me, basically, and I think for thousands of people that followed our team. And I'm sure that if you find love and this purpose in your life, you will feel more alive than ever. Thank you so much, guys.
I'll just sign off for the group. So thank you. I'm so happy that we spoke to Harriet and Tula, and this is just the summary of what's coming up. So thank you everybody for joining us live. I hope you have a lovely, safe evening, and join me in a couple of weeks. I will post on Twitter, Instagram, everything like that, to tell you what's coming up. But from me, have a lovely evening, and that's all from me tonight.